Energy is important to civilization because it powers nearly every aspect of our modern life. Studies have shown that the access to energy is highly correlated with standard of living. We want to make sure that all people around the world have access to this high standard of living so that they can have a quality life.
Energy is the greatest problem that we face right now because as populations grow, as demands grow, as new innovations start, stuff like AI, demand for energy will only increase. And in the UT PGE department and graduating from it, you are ending up on the front lines of that problem.
I chose the University of Texas because the University of Texas is the best engineering program. What makes the program stand out is the level of challenge and the academic rigor that the department provides for its students. It prepares its students to become some of the best petroleum engineers in the industry.
One of the things that's really neat about our department is that when you're studying petroleum or geosystems engineering, you jump right in to your specialty coursework in year one. You don't have to wait until later to really understand the applications of what you're studying. Both the Geosystems and Petroleum Engineering degree follow a framework of courses that are quite rigorous in a variety of sciences, in mathematics, and also in technology and computer sciences.
In our department, we're concerned with our students' success tomorrow, but also in the future. And so we think a lot about the trends. We think about what's going on in our field so that we can best prepare our students. And so we've put together brand new courses around data science, high performance computing, machine learning, geostatistics, data analytics, numerical methods with code. We have all of these courses. And so our students who come out of our program are well prepared to apply data science. In addition to that, we're doing a lot of work around what are the longer term trends that we're seeing.
Net zero carbon emissions refer to a state of the world when we stop adding carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere. And what net zero really means is that you're going to stop emitting greenhouse gases from as much of your economy as possible. And for areas where we cannot stop emitting, we're going to develop procedures to go negative emissions. So we're going to draw CO2 from the atmosphere such that on balance between our emissions and between our sequestration and drawdown, the net effect is that zero emissions get added into the atmosphere.
Some of the new applications for petroleum and geosystems engineers are in the area of energy expansion, such as looking at geothermal energy. They're also looking at storage challenges, such as storing hydrogen in the subsurface or storing carbon dioxide in the subsurface as part of climate mitigation. Another area is looking for critical minerals in the subsurface, especially lithium when we're looking at all the battery needs. What we see is that with the energy expansion, looking at areas such as geothermal energy, critical mineral development, that the same skill set that's being used in the oil and gas industry is going to be used in these new areas that are going to be added to our energy portfolio mix.
It's really exciting because now working with the subsurface doesn't just mean looking at fossil fuels, like it can also mean looking at biofuels, looking at hydrogen, looking at carbon sequestration, looking at geothermal. There's like a lot more opportunity and a lot more need as well.
While petroleum engineers and geosystems engineers take many of the same courses, geosystems engineers are really looking at a multitude of challenges that might have to do with water management, pollution, contamination, remediation. And so as a result, they take a lot more classes in geology for their degree than a petroleum engineer would.
In the industry, petroleum engineers work hand in hand with geologists. There's a lot of things that are lost in translation because these two speak very different languages. But as a geosystems engineer, I've taken both classes. I've studied both of them. So I'm able to kind of be an interpreter between these two different languages. I can understand what the geologists are saying, and I can also understand what the petroleum engineers are saying.
The department does a really good job at having those courses that are really aligned with what the industry needs are, and they implement that into our curriculum which help us develop the skill sets that they're looking for. I've heard from multiple recruiters that's what makes us stand out, because those are skills that UT prepares us and gives us. They develop us. UT creates this great reputation and opens doors in the industry.
Recruiters know that whenever they are getting a resume from somebody that graduated from Texas PGE, they know the quality that they're receiving. There is a reason why the Hildebrand department is the top petroleum engineering school in the country. And the reason is because of our faculty and our staff and the student experience that they've cultivated. The student experience here is fostered around relationships and building a network very early on. We start from the first year fall retreat is the first event that we do together. They loop in alumni, recently graduated alumni, and recruiters from industry to show you the ropes, tell you what to expect. And from that, you develop all kinds of relationships and networks from that.
We have visiting alums who come in all the time to visit with students. We have lots of help when we get students on the interview track with different companies, many of whom are owned by our own alums, and that of course is very helpful. I think all of this together makes our department a very unique and special place.